Hi everyone, I'm Sky Vaston and this is 7th part of the Godot FPS tutorial series. So in this video, we are going to improve the visuals of the game. So just a little recap. So up till now we have implemented the main functionality, the core loop of the game. So in this video we will be starting with updating player's weapon, which is pistol, with a 3D model and some animations, and then we will do the same with enemy, where we will update enemy's 3D model with their weapon with also animations. Okay, and after that we will improve the floor, the wall and the sky with textures, and do the same with this door, this finished door. So yeah, that's the gist of this video, and to see the end result you can skip ahead and see it. I have added the timestamps and then come back and follow along. Okay, so yeah, let's begin. So let's start with player. We will start with the player's weapon. So I will be only using updating 3D model of pistol, as we won't be seeing the character itself, though usually in first person games we see the arm, but for this project we will just be showing the pistol. Okay, so let's do that. So over here I have listed down some websites through which I will be downloading 3D models. So all of these are royalty free, and we can use the models freely in even commercial projects. So to start off we will go with Quaternius, as Quaternius will be giving us guns which we will be using for our game. So I will open Google Chrome and visit quaternius.com, and now I will go to the FPS section and select this entry, which is animated guns pack. So this is it, and as you can see the license of this is CC0, CC0, which is public domain, so we can use it freely without worrying about any licensing issues. So I will go to the download option and go with the third option, and if you want you can support the creator. So let's download the asset. It redirects us to Google Drive, so if you want you can download the whole folder. For our game I will be going with pistol, so this is inside of FBX, and I will go and download the pistol.fbx model. So let's do that. So once the model is downloaded I will open it up, and this is it over here. So now what is the idea here is that I will first of all create a new folder, and let's call this FPS tutorial, or maybe let me just name it part 7 assets. The reason I'm organizing it such way is because I will be uploading it on GitHub, so you can download it, because I'm going to do some edits to it. So I just downloaded this file which I will be putting under external Quaternius over here, right? So you can actually skip ahead and move to the actual part where I bring these assets to the Godot project. And I have included the timestamps, and to access the final file you can get it from GitHub, or if you want to follow along you can also just continue ahead from over here. So what I will be doing is that I will open Blender and remove existing objects and save it in this location, and let's name this pistol. Now I will go to the external folder and grab the pistol FBX file which we downloaded and import it into this Blender file. I will go with the default settings and hit the import FBX option, and here we have the weapon. So the weapon already comes with essential animations. What I will be doing is that I will be doing some minor edits. So let me just hide the armature, and first of all let's color the pistol. So let's start with the muzzle, which is the front. I will go with red color. Then we have the magazine, which is over here. Here too I will use red. Then I will go with the metal, which is this part. This will be black. So overall I will be going with just two colors, and this one is going to be red. And then I'm not sure, but while recording, okay, sorry for the pause. Actually I don't know, the whole operating system just hanged. It is something that happened again with me. I was actually earlier also recording it, and for some reason when I open Blender it just messes up. Something happens and OBS Studio and everything just freezes. Anyways, let's hope it doesn't happen again. So this is it. So we were over here, we have this material, and this is our trigger. I will also color it red. Oh, actually I have to switch to RGB. Okay, so this is done. I will also rename it to trigger, and this is the last material, and this I will color black. So this is it, this is done. So now let's have a look at the animations of it. I will going to readjust the layout a little bit. It's just for me, like I go with this view. This is something I first saw in, I believe, in one of the Sebastian Lake's video, and this is the layout I have been using ever since. I don't often see other people like they have different views, layout that they use. Anyways, so this is our weapon, and so it has these three animations, which is fire, reload, and slide. Our objective is to map animations similar to the one we created for our prototype placeholder weapon. So let's go with shoot first, and this is simple. I will just rename this fire to shoot. Then we have the slide, and the slide doesn't look like, I'm not sure what it represents, but to me it is like shooting with an empty magazine. So this is going to be our shoot empty, and then we have the reload animation. So the reload animation, wait a minute. Okay, so I have to first select the armature. So let me just show you again. So this was our shoot animation, and then this was our slide, which is shoot empty, and then this is our reload animation. So the reload animation is pretty good, but it is for projects where we have an arm that is visible. Over there it feels much nicer. For our game, I will just be using the simple reload, which is just rotating it 360 degrees. Okay, so the idea is that I will remove the extra frames and start from the very beginning, and somewhere around here let me just enable the armature again and go to the pose mode, and I will select, yeah, this is the root node, which is control. So I will rotate it 360 degrees. Okay, and it's going to be like this. So one thing over here, which is that our rotation is in quaternion, and when I do this kind of rotation, it doesn't we don't see the change. Like I don't know the specifics, but I will be changing to Euler, which is XYZ, and I will make apply the keyframes by pressing I for this control node, and then at the 10th frame I will be rotating it around negative 360 degrees along the X axis. I can just directly input the value and apply the keyframe by pressing I, and here we go, the reload animation is done. Just to be I will just keyframe everything just to be sure. So this is our reload animation. Okay, so this part is done, and I will just make an idle animation, and what we will do is we will duplicate this by clicking this button and rename this to idle, and make sure that you select fake user so the action is not removed. And in the idle animation we are just going to have one keyframe, so it's just like strictly idle, like we don't have anything going on here. Okay, so the pistol, all the animations are done. I will go back to layout, and I will rename this mesh to pistol. So yeah, I will also rename this. This is just so that it is easier in the game engine to just work with it, because just makes our lives easier. So that's why I'm doing all this in Blender, even though we downloaded the file. So with this done, yeah, we can select these two objects, go to file, export gltf, and in include I will limit to selected objects and just do the export. So this is it. Let me just organize it into type. Let me remove this temporary blend one file that is not needed. So this is our pistol glb. So with this done, I will go back to Godot, and let me just close everything. Inside of assets folder, I will create a new folder. Let's call this models, and have another folder. Let's call this player weapon. Okay, and inside of this I will drag and drop the GLB file. So this is our model. So uh, first of all, let's make it into a scene. So I will right click it and select new inherited scene. So we have the model over here. I will save it inside adjacent to the model file itself, which is over here. Okay, and then I will just going to do an update to the GLB setting, and that is, you remember that in our pistol model we had these functions that we were calling inside of animation player, right? Like the shoot bullet, reload, and all these functions. So if I try to do something like that, it will not be possible at the moment. For that we have to make these animations local to Godot, and for that what we will do is I will again select this pistol GLB file, and I will go to actions and select this option, which is set animation save path, and it is basically asking us to store these animation data as a resource file in Godot. So I will have the same folder, and inside of it I will create animations subfolder, and yeah, we want all of these animations, and once I've selected it I will select re-import. Okay, so we have all these animations exported. So now you can see we can see this option to add a new track, okay, which was not earlier possible. I will also going to make the idle animation autoplay on load. So this is it. Now I will open the player weapon scene, which is this over here, and we had this display placeholder. So what we will do now is I will create a new node 3D and name this as display, and inside of this I will have this pistol added. Okay, this pistol scene. So the original model is quite huge, but we don't have to worry about that. We can scale it down because we won't be doing any kind of transformation on the model itself, so we can do the scaling without any worry. Let me also rotate it. Okay, yeah, so this is it, and this is our model. I can hide display placeholder, and then I will select the pistol node, right click it, and select editable children. So now we can access the animation player. So first of all what we will do is, first I will select player weapon, and right now the reference is on the placeholder animation player. So I will change it to the new animation player of our 3D model, and yeah, I mean that's the only main thing we have to do in inspector. Then in our animation player of the 3D model I will go to the shoot animation, and let's see where we want to call the shoot bullet function. I think somewhere around here looks good to me. So let's have it a whole number. I mean, not exactly a whole number, but you get the idea. um, so I will add a call method track, and inside of here I will go with shoot bullet. So at this point the shoot bullet function is going to be called, and similarly in shoot empty I want to call the shoot empty method, which is this. So both of these are done, and finally for reload I will add a method track over here, which is going to be calling reload ammo. Okay, so this is also done. So if I run the game now, we can see our weapon in the game, and if I shoot, so right now the speed is a little slow, we can increase it, and we also have to fix this clipping issue. Okay, so we will do both of these. So for our speed, uh, if we go to our shoot function, let's have a speed of, let's make a variable maybe, right? So I will go with export where shoot speed, let's try 2. Okay, shoot speed, and I will do the same with the shoot empty animation. Okay, now let's see how it works. Maybe we can increase the speed a little bit more. So I think this is good. I will also going to increase the speed of reload animation a little bit. So let's empty out the bullets. I think it's, maybe we can reduce it a little bit. Yeah, looks good to me. Great. So with this done, next I will be let's fix the issue with the clipping, right? So for clipping, if I select this mesh instance 3D, and you can see that it has a lot of these materials, right? And if I try to do some edits, it's not possible. uh, okay, like it's something, but yeah, this is not the right way. We usually have to extract it as materials, and then but that's going to be just way too much. So easier thing to do is that we write a script which at runtime enable the, which was that property, I can't remember the name, it was for the z scale, right? So we will enable those values. Let me just see. uh, so this property was, yeah, so this was clip scale. Okay, so we will update these values for the existing materials through code. All right, so I will go to main, and inside of common I will create a new script, and let's call this mat z depth, and let's name this class as mat z depth. So I will first create a variable. So let's make it a little bit more general. So it's going to be an array of mesh instance 3ds. So in case if we want to have multiple mesh instances, so first of all, let's uh, do this in our pistol scene. Okay, so let me just open it, and on pistol I will attach this script, and we only going to have one element over here, which is this pistol mesh instance. But in a let's say if you had a 3D model which had other objects, multiple objects more than one, then you could have added more of those over here. Okay, then I will go to ready, and inside of this I will be uh, going through all the meshes in this array, and now I will be getting the count of the materials that are attached to a given mesh. So let's name this as material count, and for this mesh instance we will have this method get surface count on a given mesh. So we access this is the M, and then this mesh is this property over here, and then we have all these surfaces that we get a count of. Okay, then I go through all these surfaces. So let's access the material. It's going to be standard material 3D. It's going to be again our mesh instance dot mesh, then it's going to be get material, get material, yeah, this is it, get, it's going to be surface get material. It asks us for the index, and we pass in I, which is the index in this loop, and then we set the property. So to give you an recap on our placeholder mesh, we set these two values. So this is use z clip scale. I set it to true, so we do that just over here, which is use z clip scale equals to true, and then we set the scale of it to 0.1. Okay, so it's going to be z clip scale is equals to 0.1. So now we can run the game, and if I now go towards a wall, you can see that the weapon is not getting clipped. Awesome. So yeah, I think this is it for the weapon. We don't have to do much. Yeah, so the weapon part is done. I will just do one little thing to make the game look much better. It will be a subtle improvement, and it is if I go to project settings and I go to, I guess, yeah, anti-aliasing, and over here I will be enabling MSAA 3D and set it to you can check out different values on different hardware. For me, I have seen that if I, for at least for this project, okay, for mid-ranged laptops, even on that, even on low-end devices, I haven't tested it, but I believe it should run good. So I'm basically here just uh, increasing some of the graphic settings. Okay, so this will just make the game appear much better. I will not enable this option, so yeah, I will just update those two values, and now if we run the game, it will look much better. Actually, I think we can enable TAA, right? It won't be an issue, it will look good. Yeah, I don't know much about the uh, exactly the specifics of those settings, but I just enabled them, and I found it to be good. You can test it out how it works on low end devices. So yeah, with all of this done, now let's proceed ahead with going with Mixamo, where we will set up the enemy model. Okay, so I will going to copy this URL and visit the website. So I have already, like, this is the character that we will be going with, but um, when you first open Mixamo, you will be having some default character selected. Okay, like I just selected the very first one. So here you can just choose from a wide variety of characters. And for our tutorial, I mean, you can go with anyone, but I will be going with this specific one, which is Castle Guard, which to me looked pretty good for the type of game we are making. So this is just a simple game, but I went with a sort of medieval sci-fi kind of theme. So this character is a castle guard, and I think just inputting the exact name is not going to work. Yeah, so if I just type in castle, we have these two options. I will go with castle guard 1. I will select it, and let's do use this character. So now it is in T-pose, and I will download it, and let's keep the default settings and hit the download button. Okay, so the castle guard is downloaded. I will cut it and paste it in a new folder called Mixamo right over here. uh, so I will be downloading a few more things. So for our enemy, we didn't had much of animations. We only had idle and death animations. So now we are going to have a little bit more. Okay, so I will go to the animations tab now, and I will be going with uh, simple animations like idle, running, attacking, and death animations. Okay, something around these states. Okay, so let's go with idle animation first. So there are going to be a variety of these animations, and I believe I went with this one. Yeah, I think it was this. So I will select it, and this is the one. I believe you can just choose any which you feel like, right? I will select the download option, and over here I will just change this to without skin. So this will download only the armature, not the mesh itself. Okay, okay, so this is done. Now it is the let's go with first the running animation. Okay, so I will just type this in, and I'm just going with the very specific ones which I think suits this character. And for this video, I don't want to like waste your time with like just searching and all. So that's why I have written all of these things beforehand. And I think this is backward run. Yeah, it is this one. So I will select in place. We don't want it to move ahead, we just want it to be in place, as the movement in our game is through code. We are not doing anything like root motion and stuff like that. So this looks good to me. You can also, change these settings and all to see, uh, adjust the animations a little bit if you want. I will reset it, and actually I'm right now on my mobile data, so the internet is also quite slow, so I will avoid doing all these things. Okay, so that didn't work for my side, but that's because the net is quite slow at the moment. I'm using mobile data, but anyways, so this is the running animation. I will again download it without skin. So this is it, and next I will go with the attack animation. And this is the one. Let's download it. And finally we have the death animation, which is this one. So yeah, that is all of the animations. And yeah, let's go back to the downloads, and we can paste it inside of over here. Okay, so we have all these animations over here, and I will create a new blender file for enemy. Let's save it over here, and this is our enemy blend file. And inside of this I will first of all add the model itself. So let's see, it already comes with the texture. I will straight away go to the animation tab and update the layout, and select the armature, and let's name this as T-pose. So right now we only have one animation. Now also let me just rename this armature to enemy. Okay, so now with this done, I will going to add all these four by selecting all of these and dragging it into the project. I will go with the default settings, and so we have all these 3D armatures, and these are just the skeletons because we didn't downloaded the skin, and each of these have all those animations. So we want to first of all remove these four armatures, because as soon as we included these armatures, the animations were also added. So if I remove these armatures, the skeletons, the object will be removed, but the action will remain in the project. So that's it. And now if I select the, let me just go to object mode first. So now I have selected the armature, main armature, and let's see all of these animations one by one. So this one actually just automatically just linked to the armature, and I think it is because, yeah, okay, but the subsequent ones will not work, and I will show you how to fix that. So this one is good. I believe this is the attack animation, so let me rename it to attack. Now let's look at this. So yeah, this one doesn't work, and to fix that, we have to select the armature from this drop down. We don't see the enemy object, and I don't know why it happens, but we just go with this. Okay, and okay, so it's working, but yeah, I will be renaming it to enemy, so it should match this name. Okay, and this is the run animation, so I will call it run. And then let's look at this. I will do the same exact process over here, and this is our death animation, so let's name this death. And let's select armature here and name it enemy, and this is our idle animation. Let me see what was our T-pose. Let's add, let's include this as well in the list of animations. So all of this is done. For attack 2, I will do this just to be on the safe side. So yeah, the animations are all set up. I will just go with T-pose as the starting animation. So now all we have to do is that we have to export it as GLTF. I will limit it to selected objects. Great. So the file is exported now, and let me remove this temporary blend file, and this is the enemy GLB. So before adding it to the project, I will do just one more thing, and that is that I will create another file, another blender file, and let us save it over here. And this is going to be sword. This is going to be the enemy's sword. So this we will make ourselves, because it's going to be very simple, and we are going to make it look and appear good with some glow in the game. And I will enable the X-ray mode. Okay, I guess let's have it something like this. So this is going to be our handle. We'll extrude it like this, and yeah, I think this is fine. And inside of this object itself, I will create a new cube. This is going to be the blade of our sword. Let's make this a little bit pointy so it looks like a sword. And I mean, it's not really that great, it's just something I just made quickly, but the idea is that we will make it look and appear a little bit better by adding some glow in the game. For now I think this is fine. So yeah, let me just name this to sword, and let's add a material, and this is going to be handle. I'm not sure what we call this this part over here, and this I will have it in black color. I mean basically a shade of black, and then I will have another material, and this is going to be for the blade. So this I will keep white, and let me go to preview mode. So right now the entire mesh is using handle. I will go to edit mode, select the blade, I mean this part, and add attach blade material to it. Okay, so this is done. I just realized, okay, maybe I have to make this a little bit thinner. Like this. Yeah, I think this is fine. I will increase its width a little bit. So yeah, this is our sword. This is what we will go with. So I will click it and have an export of it too, and yeah, this is it. So now we have the enemy and enemy's weapon, which is sword. So let's select both of these and go to our assets folder. Inside of model I will create a folder. Let's call this enemy, and inside of this let's bring both of these. So yeah, so the enemy had a bunch of textures in it, so it automatically created it for us. And I will make a separate folder for the sword, and I think let me yeah, let it be sword only. So I will move it inside of over here. So this is done. So let's first start with the enemy. Okay, so straight away I will be again I will be exporting these animations, but because I want to make some of these looping, which I can't do if I don't export it. Export, I don't know if that's the right word, but I want to save it as a Godot resource. So I will select actions, set animation save paths, and similar to the weapon, player weapon, I will put all of these inside animations folder and re-import it. So we have all of these here. So I will be making some of the animations looping. So okay, I think attack is going to loop. uh, we have this. Okay, so this is right up here. So yeah, I don't think we have to loop it, but I mean, for now, let's loop it. Okay, we will see. And this is the death animation. No, this is only going to run once. Idle, we want it to loop, so this should be looping. And for run, again, this will loop as well. And then the T pose, yeah, we can leave it as it is, and I will re-import. So you will see the changes being applied. Okay, so this is it. I will now going to right click enemy GLB and make a scene of it. So I will go to the enemy folder and save it over here. Let's also capitalize it. So this is it. So now with this done, the idea is that I will have a node 3D for including our final 3D model. Inside of it, I will add enemy scene. So right now there will be two of these. So the name are similar, but the paths are different. We are going with this one, which is under models. And interestingly, the the size of both of them are equal, so we don't have to do any kind of resizing. I believe we may want to just rotate our enemy by 180 degrees. So this is it. I will make it editable. Then yeah, so right now I will change the animation player to the models one. Okay, so my apologies. I should have actually put it inside placeholder like I did with weapon, but I don't know why I didn't do it. So the idea is that we don't want to change the structure, like it explicitly has the set. So what we can do for now as a workaround is just have a parent, um, something like let me just rename this to placeholder and call this as display placeholder. This is going to be the parent, and inside of it I will place this. Okay, and now I can bring in the the previous animation player inside of this. Okay, so this will make things cleaner for us. So now yeah, this is it. I will select animation player of the our new 3D model, and then for the weapon, so again for weapon we are going to do a couple of things. So first and foremost, let me make a scene of our sword. So I will save it as a scene. Yeah, and also let me just extract its materials first, and I will extract them inside of the same folder, both of these two materials. Then I will, so we don't have to do much of an edit to this handle. I will be doing main edit to the blade, and what I will be doing is that I will be having some color to it. For now let's go with red. So this is our red color, and then I will going to enable the emission, and for emission I'm just going to copy this red color. Okay, so now if I increase this energy multiplier, we can see that it is glowing. I will go with a value of 5. So yeah, this is it. Then inside of here I can add the sword, and this is it. For now I will just disable it. So what I want is that I want this sword to be attached to the enemy's skeleton, this right hand bone. Okay, so we have all these different bones, and let's see. Yeah, so can we select it from over here? I don't think so, but I want it to be attached to this, basically made child of this bone. Okay, so to do this we have a very specific node for this, which is bone attachment 3D. Let me rename this to right hand attachment to make it clear what we want to do. And here I will just select use external skeleton, and that external skeleton is the enemy models one. Then for the bone name, it's going to be the right hand one. Okay, so you can see that this node has been um, just snaps to this position. Okay, I will save it. You can see that we get this warning, and if I just just go to a different scene and come back, we can see that warning is gone. And now I will enable this salt again and put it as a child of this attachment. So now in our transform, I will set it all the local values. So I will reset it, and yeah, this is it. I believe we have to, yeah, we have to increase the scale. So we have to do a little bit of adjustments, and for that we can see how we want our enemy to look like in all these different animations. Let's start with attack only. So now over here you have to do a little bit of adjustments. There are many ways through which we can accomplish this much cleaner, but I will going to do it this way, okay, for this tutorial. um, so I think it's a good idea to rotate it like this. This will look much better. You can, and make sure that you can switch between the local and global gizmos. That will make it easier for you to move the object. Okay. So one thing you need to realize that it doesn't have to be very exact. A little bit of overlapping and stuff is fine. So let's see how it looks like. Okay, so the attack is looking good to me. Let's see how the idle looks. So in idle, I think it's not that good. Let me just put it a little bit over here. Okay, so this is fine for me, and then this is our run animation. Looks good to me too. Okay, let me just look at attack once more. I think we can go with this, right? Okay, so this looks good to me. uh, okay, so and also one more thing, I will let me just go to the enemy scene, and I will make idle animation as the default one. So I have set autoplay to it. So with this done, I believe we can so let me just see how the character looks like. Okay, so this looks very small right now. I want this to be a little larger. uh, we can do that for sure. Okay, so I think, let's see, I should have done this before actually. Yeah, let's make it 1.25. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, so I accordingly I have to again readjust the sword, but it's fine. We can, I believe, do that. um, it shouldn't be that longer. So this is again our idle animation, and this is our attack animation. Let's see the idle again. Okay, okay, this looks nice. And this is our run animation. Great. And this is our death animation. By the way, in death animation I will be disabling the weapon. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, now let's run the game. And yeah, this is good. So and yeah, the character was not animating, and that's because the original one didn't had running attacking animations. Okay, so we are going to now do the updates. For the weapon we are going to choose our sword, but for that we have to first of all add the script, and which is our enemy weapon script. Okay, so this is our weapon. And so in the original enemy weapon we had these animations inside of which we were calling attack hammer. So it was originally hammer, but I went with a sword. But anyways, so yeah, the idea is now to so just to keep things consistent but a little bit ugly, we will be creating an animation player node, and I will just replicate the same exact these two animations, which are attack and idle. So let's first create the idle animation, and over here I will just going to just set some keyframe. Okay, let's keyframe the position, and I will duplicate it and have an attack animation. It's going to be the same as idle. And yeah, this is it. Now we need to call this attack hammer, okay, somewhere. So for that I want to sync our enemy's attack animation and the sword attack animation. So for that we can see what's the length of our enemy's attack animation. So it's 2.3, and I can do that same thing over here. I can make this 2.3 seconds long, and let's have this last keyframe over here. Okay, and then uh, back to enemy. Let's see where we want to have attack hammer function being called. I think somewhere around here, 0.9 or even 1 seconds. Okay, let's go with 1 seconds. So at 1 seconds I want to call the method um, okay, so the project just got crashed. We can open it again, and hopefully it was saved. In my opinion, yeah, I think it's saved. Yeah, we are at that same point, and I will try to just do this very quickly. And I have this call method. I will select this sword, and I will select this attack hammer. Right now it's no longer an hammer, but it's okay. Let's go with this. We can later rename it. Okay, so this is where the animation is going to be called, and we don't have to animate this because our enemy is already animating and doing the work, so we don't want to animate the sword, right? So the animation is synced. So let's now Let's now go to idle, and this state is already playing the idle animation. We can confirm it. So let me just do one more thing. uh, Let me make it maximized so it's clearer. Yeah, so the idle animation is running. Then in our look state, it's again going to be the idle animation, and it's the chase state that we are after. And as we know, we have this animation run, so we will name the name to run now, and let's have a speed of 1. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. You can adjust the speed. To me right now it looks okay. So this was our chase state. Let's go to the attack state, and in attack state we have to run both uh, the enemy weapon attack and weapons animation and the enemies animation. So for this I will again see it is called attack. So this is it, attack. And for now let's have the speed of it to 2 only, and let me just make a variable attack speed. Okay, because this same speed is going to be used in our weapons attack function. I can just have an argument for it over here. uh, yeah, let it be -1, or maybe we can use our animation transition duration and attack speed. Okay, so now if I go to the attack state, we have this over here, and we can pass in. So we can, since the animation is looping, we can just call it, yeah, we just have to call it once only. I think that's much better, and we just pass in the attack speed. Okay, and there was also an issue in update earlier. If we use this transition, it was during when I was doing the preparation I observed, so I ultimately had to put it in start only, so we don't see the I will explain it later, but for now this is it. And I believe we can just make it a global variable. Yeah, much better. So these two things are going to be run in sync, and in our end method. Okay, I will first of all, let's see the game, okay, how it works. Okay, so our health is not decreasing, it only decreased once, and that's because I forgot to make this looping. Okay, now if I run the game, okay, it's still giving me issues. um, so let me just check. This is looping, and our enemy's attack animation is also looping. Okay, and we see that our health is decreased, but only once. We are calling it in start, but it should still loop and not cause us this trouble. And the reason it's happening is because I haven't updated this to our sword. So I'm sorry for that. So I have done this update, and now we get an error which says that on a null value. Okay, so what is the issue? Okay, I should have saw the error clearly, but yeah, it's over here. We have to set animation, and also we have to set the references over here for attack origin. So let's do it in attack origin. I will just copy this one and put it inside of our final display one, and it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be just like this over here. So I will set it like this, and now it should work properly. Yeah, working great. So there was an issue. So like, suppose if I just kill it like this, it works. But suppose if I kill the enemy while it's running, you can see that it keeps going forward. So the reason is that we want, so when we switch from chase to the death state, so death state doesn't has any uh, method that updates the nav velocity, right? Suppose in over here we are doing it over here, and in attack state we are doing it right here. So I will just copy this, and in our death state I will just paste it like this. Okay, and this should fix the issue. So enemy is coming and it stops. Let me just make it move a little bit more. Yeah, so this issue is fixed. And one more thing, in our death state, as soon as we get here, I want to hide the weapon so that it doesn't look weird. Of course we can have a separate animation for stuff like that, but I found that disabling it just did the trick, so we can just go ahead with this. Okay, so now once the enemy is defeated, the weapon gets disabled. You can add more effects to it, like fading it out and stuff like that, but for this project we will keep it simple. Let's see how it works on other enemies. So here we are, and they are attacking me. I will just eliminate them, and yeah, this is it for the enemies. Let me just see if there is something I'm missing out. I guess this is it. If there will be something, I will let you know in this video only, but for the actual recording I will be doing the further steps tomorrow. But yeah, see you tomorrow then. So welcome back everyone. So now let's resume our project. So far for this part we have improved the visuals of player's weapon, enemy, and the enemy's weapon. So now we can proceed ahead with improving the visuals of our level itself. So I will open level 1 scene, and to improve the visuals of our world, I will be applying textures to the ground and wall, and an HDR on our skybox. Okay, so for that I will be visiting this website, which is Polyhaven. So again, a lot of the assets on Polyhaven are public domain. So let's go for the textures we are looking for. So this is going to be for our ground. I will first of all go to assets and go to textures, and over here you can surf through a lot of textures that Polyhaven gives us. I will be going with this specific texture for our game. So it's I mean, you can choose anyone. Just to stick with my initial project, I'm going with this specific one, which is Rocky Terrain 2. So this is the texture that we are going to apply on our ground. So to download it, you can download different variations of the texture. Uh, Higher resolutions look much better, but I will go with 1K. And then I will select this drop down, and over here you can see there are a lot of options. So for example, we can download the textures in a blend file as a gltf, and maybe as image itself. So for our case, we are just concerned with the png images. Okay, so I had already previously downloaded it, so the options are pre-selected. So for our game, we are going to be concerned with and ambient occlusion texture, a diffuse texture, which is the albedo one, and a normal texture. And it's the normal texture that's going to do a lot of heavy lifting in terms of visuals, where we see the depth of uh, solid objects. Okay, so for that we will be going with normal GL, which where GL I guess stands for OpenGL. So it has something to do with the rendering. So normal DX is for DirectX. For Godot, we will go with this option. Okay, and finally we have the rough texture for roughness. So make sure you have all these options selected, and I mean, you can include other options too. So if you want this texture which basically acts as a texture which applies to all three attributes of a PBR material, so you can go with this as well, but I will not go with it for now. So yeah, let me download it. So the file is downloaded. I will download the other texture, which is for the wall. So I will go back to textures and search for this brick texture, and again I will have these options selected and download the 1K texture. So after this is downloaded, I will be adding I will be downloading the HDR, and looks like I have not written the name of it, but let's see, maybe we can find it. So the textures are done, and I will now go to the HDR, and let me just quickly look up the name of the file. I think it was this, but just to be sure, just give me a minute. Okay, so yeah, so the texture sorry, the HDR I was looking for, it's this one only. So yeah, we are going to be downloading this, and for this I will be going with a 2K resolution one. So, and by the way, all of these are of public domain license. The previous two one were also public domain. So I will download it. So once the HDR map is downloaded, I will go to the downloads folder, and we can see the files. So let me extract the textures. And now I can remove these zip files. So yeah, we have all the textures. Now back in Godot. So first of all, in the textures folder, let me include these textures. I can just for now drag them. And here I can do a little bit of reorganization. I mean, we don't want too much of nesting. So these are the textures, and I will create a new folder for our skyboxes, which is for the HDR file, and I will now drag it, and this is it. Okay, so let's start with the textures. Okay, so let's go with the ground first, and we had already in the previous video made the materials for it, so it will be easier for us to go ahead and straight away plug in the textures. So I will expand rocky terrain folder, and inside of it, let's begin with the albedo. So albedo right now was set to a gray color. So first of all, I will make the color full white, and now I will go to the diffuse texture. So the diffuse is for albedo, so I will drag it into this texture field, and now the texture is applied. So the texture as of now applies to the whole mesh based on its overall extends from top left to bottom right, and we want it to tile. Okay, so for tiling, what we will do is I will go to UV1 and select triplanar. So now you can see the size of the texture is reduced a little bit. Maybe we can decrease it a little bit so that it doesn't look like it is repeating, because the default one is looks like that it's repeating. Okay, I think I will go with 0.1. Let's see how it looks like. Yeah, I think this much is fine. Then this was the albedo. Okay, let me just for now I can let me just uh, remove, I mean hide the navigation region gizmo that is kind of coming in the way. Okay, so this is our albedo. So now let's see what do we have. Let's go with normal map, and this is going to do a lot of heavy lifting in terms of depth, showing depth. So I will drag in this texture, and right now you may have seen it, the effect was subtle, but if I increase the scale, you can see that we can see a sense of depth on our 3D mesh, and it's basically a trick where the color, the pixel of uh, the of this texture is being used to calculate light direction, and like it's a lot of complex math, the shader math. I'm not sure how, like fully sure how it works, so I will not speak too much about it. But yeah, this is like pretty good. So let's see. I think I will go with something like 2. Okay. So for now, I think this is okay. We can further increase it and see how it looks like. Maybe we can go with 3. 3 looks good to me. Okay. So this was normal map, and let's quickly fill in the other textures. So let's bring in the roughness texture to the roughness attribute, and then we have the ambient occlusion. Let's enable that and bring it in. Yeah, so this is our final material for the ground. Now let's go for the wall. So for the wall, I will first of all make the albedo white, and then expand broken brick wall, bring in the diffuse texture into albedo texture field, and right now it applies to the whole mesh. We want it to tile, so I will go to UV1 section and enable triplanar, and again let's make it, I think 1 to me looks good. Yeah, let's go with it for now, and then I will go for the normal map, and for the normal map I will bring in the texture to this field. And okay, so over here we see that the depth is a little too much. I will going to maybe decrease it a little bit. Yeah, let's go with 0.75. So this is it, and let me just quickly fill in the other textures. So we will apply roughness here, and let's enable ambient occlusion. So yeah, I think this is fine. So yeah, let me just make the ground a little bit more, it's smaller. uh, let's go with something like 0.2 perhaps. I think 0.2 is good. So this is 0.2, and yeah, this looks good. So the textures are applied, but still it looks kind of I guess not so great, because the lighting is a little too bright. So let's darken things up a little bit to give it a little bit of an evening kind of atmosphere. So we will now going to work on the environment node. Okay, so for this right now it is local to the scene. I will save it as a resource. Let's save it here only. So I will just going to have one environment resource for the entire game. So I will just save it in assets folder. Like this is going to be the only environment resource. Now let's proceed ahead with updating the sky. So right now we were using a procedural sky. So I will clear it out, and then I will go with a panorama sky material, and inside of this I will load the grassland HDR. So this is it. So let's see. Yeah, looks better than before. So it's a little bit brighter. So now here you can mess around with world environment settings with whatever you feel like looks good. So I'm not really an expert with all these things. So what I did was that I just experimented with around all these different values. So I'm going to feed in those values in this video as well. That looked good to me. So the first thing I did was update the tone map. Okay. So what it does is it's kind of like a color correction kind of stuff. I'm not sure, but for me, I liked going to this ACES mode, and I decreased the exposure a little bit. I went with 0.75. So this is one thing. So what it did was kind of brought in the colors a little bit more, kind of made it more contrasty. I think that's the correct term. Uh, so yeah, and then I will also enable volumetric fog, and for its color I will make it complete black. So this is it, and you can also mess around with density and stuff, but I will keep it to the default. So this is it. So this is our final visual overhaul for the whole world, including 3D models and stuff. We do have to do a little bit of more. So right now the door looks kind of out of place. So let's make this look nicer too. And yeah, so let's go with our finish door, and also let me just re-enable the gizmo for navigation region. And yeah, one more thing. So if I defeat this enemy and I go to the next level, you will see that in the next level the environment is still the old one, and to fix that all we have to do is I will go to the level 2 scene, and for environment I will choose this one, world environment that we saved. And now level 2 is also going to have this environment, and so the lighting and all of the stuff is all good. And now we can proceed ahead with updating the finish door scene. So yeah, so let's come up here. So the very first thing I will do is add glow to it, and I will copy this same color over here. You can experiment with the value. I think I will go with 3. Yeah, looks good to me. Now I will also add a particle effect over here. So for this let me just disable the mesh. So over here I will create a draw material. So it's going to be a a cube, and let me also go to the process material and create one. So for this cube, I will again go with the color green. So I will create a material for it. I mean, we can just copy the material. We don't have to have different materials because the color and everything is going to be same. So I will choose the option paste. So we have this material being used in two places, as you can see in the tooltip. So yeah, and one more thing, let's decrease the size of it. So we want it to be kind of like a bunch of particles that will be coming out from the store. Okay, not exactly coming out, but you will see what I am trying to say. So the very first thing I will do is disable gravity. Now I want these to be spawned not from a point but within a box. Yeah, like this. And so let me just enable the door, and what I will do is it's kind of hard to see, but the idea is I will increase it so it comes out a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, we will see. So this is one thing. And also I want them to during the end of their lifetime, I want them to be scaled down. So for that I will create a scale curve and just have them go to 0 scale at the end of their lifetime. And perhaps let me also increase their lifetime too. And let me increase their quantity. Now it's up to you how many you want. I think I will go with 32. So let's now enable the door. So I want, so the door is going to be in front of the player, and let me just make sure that, so earlier when placing the door I didn't made sure like in which direction it was facing. I mean, we can have this effect at the center, but then some of the material some of the particles will be lost. We won't be able to see it. So let me just put it forward like this over here. Yeah, I think this is fine, and I'm going with negative z direction, that is right like this. So now uh, I will go to finish door and make sure that you have the local gizmo local space gizmo enabled, so we can see uh, the right gizmos like uh, based off this object's world space. Okay, so it is right now pointing in the opposite direction, so I will rotate it 180 degrees, and I will check this over here as well. Yeah, here too it was in the opposite direction. So I think this looks good. And of course right now we can't see the red color of our locked door because the emission color, especially with the high glow, just overtakes the albedo color. So anyways, let's add logic for our emission color. So it's going to be very simple. Like over here we are updating the albedo, we are going to similar way update the emission color. So For that, I can look at the property name. It's emission, just emission. Okay, so let me just make it full screen, and I will copy this line and I will set emission like this. Now the particle will also be red, and this is it. And now I can, if I eliminate this enemy, the door turns green. So yeah, the finished door part is done. And next, let's just make one tiny update, and that's for the crosshair. So it is something very basic. For this, I have this circle that I will be using for the crosshair. I believe there is no primitive way of creating circles in Godot itself, so I had to make a texture for it. I don't like doing these things, but yeah, it will be great if Godot offers something where we can just have these primitive shapes for 2D at least created. For 3D, we can do it very easily, but for 2D, it's kind of annoying. So in our textures, I will place this circle. Okay, where it is, I cannot see it. Okay, so this is inside this folder. So this is our circle, and all we have to do is I will go to the player scene, and I will go to our 2D view, and this is our crosshair. So inside of this, yeah, let it be node, like I will not change the type of it. So here I will use a texture rect, and let's call it circle, and I will bring in this right here, and let's bring it at the center. Let me change. So what is the size of this? 16. Okay, so it's 16 by 16. I can remove the vertical and horizontal nodes and make the size of this to 16 by 16. Okay, so let's see how the cursor looks. Okay, so maybe it's a little too big, and I just realized that I didn't the expand mode is right now set to keep size. We want to set it to ignore size, and let's have its aspect to be covered. And now let's change the size of this. So yeah, this is it, much better. Okay, so this I believe is a little large. We can maybe make it 12 or something. And also let me just make it a little bit transparent. uh, let's go with 200. Yeah, I think this is good. So yeah, that's all for this part of the tutorial series. And with this done, we have improved the visuals of the game, and pretty much all the things are done. The only thing that remains now is adding audio to the game. So that is what we will do in the next part, and it's going to be the last part of this tutorial series. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.